Here we have Jess's backstroke on the underwater view. See her underneath water. She's got a lot of movement on those hands for her dolphin kick, if we can actually see it with the shot. Those hands are moving up and down. We want to make sure that she is actually keeping everything from her shoulder up, going in a straight line towards the wall in front. As we go to watch this breakout, does a pretty good job getting on that side. Real strong catch right there with that left arm. So you're moving in. The big thing we want to check out is all that air, all the water bubbles that are on those hands. Okay, we want to make sure that we're really trying to work on decreasing the amount of air we pull, the amount of bubbles that are on your hand. As you pull through with that left arm, you got a little bit of it right there, not nearly as much. But the big thing we want to see is as soon as you enter here, your hand is actually, if you look right there, that hand is actually turned downward, so you're already starting to catch. What I want to see you do is actually, once you enter right up through here, is work on pressing down a little bit deeper. Once you've got that hand down deep, then just going to move straight backwards in that straight line idea. That way your hand's going to move as fast as it can from point A, which is up in front of your body, to point B. As you're moving along, you've got a strong, steady kick. Make sure you definitely keep that up, even when you start to get tired towards the end of a 200 backstroke. Great turnover rate as we're looking. The one thing I do notice as we're kind of moving along here is your body line is a little down, not too bad. You can work on just trying to press back on your shoulder blades, straighten that body, get into a very kind of almost a military at attention stance, and that's going to be able to give you a much better body position as you're going through the water and be able to stay nice and tight on the surface. Very nice job as you're finishing up. Here we have Jessica's above water backstroke action. As I can look at her start right now, what I would like to see is a little bit smaller right there of an angle in her knee. So basically trying to bring her hips in just a little bit closer to those heels as you go up to start. It's going to allow you for a much stronger start. Some people do have to go with a little bit wider angle, others have to go, or can go with a little bit smaller. I think you can actually get a little bit smaller there. As you go smaller on that degree at the back of your knee, you're actually going to be able to get yourself out of the water a little bit more. The one other thing we're seeing is as soon as you get that command for go, you're starting to move your upper body versus starting with your legs. So make sure the first thing you do when you hear that command for go, really start driving with those legs. What happens is what you've got right now, since you're moving your upper body, your legs get driven in that direction. What we want to see is actually getting more of this arcing direction. That way you're going to be able to get your hips up. So think about pushing with your legs first and then getting your upper body to move from there. So as we go through there with that arcing motion, you're going to be able to drive your hips that are down there up and out of the water, and that'll get you for a much stronger start. Get things going. Pretty solid dolphin kicks. I like what I see out of that. Good movement out of your hips, good movement out of the legs. Awesome kick. I believe I mentioned that on your freestyle. Continues here on your backstroke. You've got a great turnover rate. We're going to slow you down just a little bit going into that turn. And we do need to make sure that you're working on tucking up right into there. You still have a lot of space available right there behind your heels and your rear end. We want to make sure we tighten that up. That way you're going to be able to get over much quicker. I'm going to keep you moving through some slow motion here. See how those walls look underwater. Pretty good. Breakout looks good. So get you moving up to full speed. You've got a pretty decent head position. I'm not seeing a whole lot of side-to-side movement. I do see a little bit of bobbing, so we're going to have to make sure utilize that pull a little bit more to kind of rotate you from side to side, and that way you won't have to push it nearly as hard. As we look at going into this finish, you've got a good extension going on there. I would like to see you maybe trying to finish a little bit more on that side as you kind of submerge yourself. And we can actually, instead of finishing on your right side with your right arm, I'd like to see you actually go a little bit more of a quicker finish, which would be taking another stroke but just staying on that right side. So you'd end up finishing with your left hand. That way you're really going to be able to explode into that finish and touch out hopefully a couple other people who don't know how to finish quite nearly as well. Nice job.